Welcome to the first meeting of the new academic year. I'm so excited to be the lead for you all this year on following Tyson's footsteps. I was informed by our parliamentarian that we have met quorum and we are able to conduct business for the day. So a few updates that I wanted to share with you all, and I'm going to use that theme of celebrate, collaborate, and innovate that we talked about at orientation. Was really talking about the different celebrations that we have. And as I go through this is something that I'll collect over each month with you all, because I love to celebrate the wins, the things, good things that are happening around campus, big moments for people in celebrating, especially if anyone had promotions, job moves, things that we can truly celebrate as a body. So we did our orientation, and we do have membership updates, and one of them, or the first one in general, is Senator Culpepper, Senator Leslie, and Senator Pope are no longer continuing with Staff Senate, but all for different reasons. But Senator Culpepper became the Assistant Dean for Student Affairs in the College of Nursing, and he left us because he's going to focus on those energies. We are so excited, and he just gave the best remarks to us in an email, and I wanted to share that with you all today for him of the impact of Staff Senate. And so just knowing that it helps him acquire several skills that's useful in his new job. And then to remind you all that this work matters, not only to our fellow staff members, but our own professional development. And he really felt like his time in Staff Senate is what was able to elevate him to that next role at the university. So really just putting that out there, that there's a lot that can come from just being a part of this general body. We do have vacancies as membership updates, vacancies within Staff Senate. We have 3. One with the graduate school with Reid, that we are actually going to seek to fill that vacancy as soon as possible. Just per bylaws, we have to do that. And then the other 2 are the Division of IT. There's 1 seat, and Administration and Finance, there's 1 seat. We do not need to fill those seats until spring because we have the groups of individuals in here that will take that lead. But please know if you want a motion or get someone involved into Staff Senate, anyone that's not a senator can still be connected and involved with Staff Senate. So if there is someone that you would like to tap in and be a part of that change in your specific umbrella under the organization, please connect with them and have them get involved with you. The other thing I want to celebrate is the different, and this is just a snippet of committees that are across campus, but I'm going to create a list that we're going to put in teams, as we just want to know where people are sitting at the table to have Staff Senate representation and your voice. And it could be a regular committee that serves the greater institution that you just sit on for your role, but you can also be there with that Staff Senator hat in mind too, to be able to give updates here at the general body and be a part of things. So a lot of really wonderful opportunities that are coming, and we have leadership reaching out to the general body, either through you or through the exec team. And we want to make sure that we're capturing that. So I'm going to send that list out in teams, but wanted to celebrate the fact that leadership around campus and through all the roles that we have are helping us get at the table. And so we want to make sure we're always at the table, especially with search committees. As you all know, there's a lot of different searches continuously happening at the university, but especially at the highest levels, we want to be a part of that process. Go ahead.
We need to approve the minutes.
Oh, I'm so sorry. See, this is my first time. All right. Oh, yes. I apologize. Not in my notes. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes from June? Wonderful. Senator Keller. Second. Senator Alumni. Oh, is there any discussion on the minutes? See none? Motion to approve? Minutes. Motion to approve the minutes. Gotta love Robert's Rule of Order. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Okay. You what?
All those in favor?
Oh, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Wonderful. that would be channeling my Tyson. Robert's Rules of Order. Okay, we will learn together, everyone. Okay, the next thing I wanted to share is about collaborate. So here on campus, we will have many opportunities that we are going to be asked by you all in the room with the units that you serve in the divisions you serve that serve the greater university as a whole, as well as just if there's even other opportunities that you can have your own growth and outreach. So we have 4 big things happening in August and September that we do need volunteers for. I will reach out and work with Jessica to put this out in teams with the links, but we want to have this shared with the constituency as well, with all the staff across campus. If they want to have that time during the work hours, if they're able to be able to help serve the campus community. The big thing with USC Move-In is that there's 3 different roles coming, and they're 2 days for move-in, but you're not physically moving people's things anymore. There's a big liability in that. You are just helping, when it says mover, helping cars move to the right spot, having them unload, and then telling the cars to move. You can greet people outside of buildings, say hello, and the zone leader is just helping all the different volunteers with the movers and greeters to navigate the campus. So if you are interested in that, we will put the links out, but wanted to make sure that we are putting our best foot forward and helping as senators and representing ourselves with the bigger community at large. Same with First Night Carolina, which is a big evening event that we have for our first year students, but really it's for the whole campus community, the student body. That's going to be on the Horseshoe and all around campus to help students get to the Horseshoe, to have fun fireworks events and festivities for their first night. Family weekend. As many of you saw, Lena Holt, she is the director of parent and family programs at the university. She actually leads family weekend and really want to get her out, get her volunteers. And it is a really neat opportunity to have a couple shifts, different shift times during the day, but to be in Russell House in AC, and you're able to check in families and students, and it's actually a lot of fun. And then Health and Wellness Expo, that is coming up September 24th. We'll keep you updated if the date does ever shift or change, but we will have a staff senate table. And that is something where if you're interested in connecting with other staff that come to the Wellness Expo, we would love to have you volunteer and help table during that. And it's an 8 to 2 in the Russell House, but again, in the AC, and we're able to just connect with other people. Does anyone have any questions about those? Awesome. So another big update to collaborate on is kind of going to be your first big push with your constituents that we really want to see happen is going to be connecting. Our next guest is going to be Brian Favela, the Director of Parking and Transportation Services with his team, and they will be here to be our guest speaker. They are champions of the staff experience. They want to make it better. They want to collaborate. And I think this is a great opportunity for you in your staff senator role for this year to connect with who you serve and ask, get their questions, any kind of concerns they might have, compile it together, and then we're going to send it and compile it as a staff senate body. And we're going to have that due, if you can get that sent, just your list from your constituency by Friday, July 26th to Jessica, because we are going to send that to Brian and his team so they can actually create a presentation and have those questions in mind ahead of time so that they can try to answer it, so that at the end of the presentation, he can answer deeper questions with you all. But really want to make sure that we get that out there. We know this is the top issue and priority of our staff and our students on campus. And so just knowing this is a hot button issue with a lot of your constituents, really use your role to tap into that, to see where their concerns are, theme it out, and let's get that to Jessica so we can get them prepared to come to the staff senate. And then, of course, innovate. This is the big one. You're going to be in your first committee meetings. It's probably going to be this week if you haven't had it already. But we want to make sure that you see that there are tons of opportunities where you can innovate and change the game here at the university to enhance the staff experience. So meetings with leadership. I really encourage you to meet with your unit leadership, your divisional leadership, your college leadership on a continuous basis. So working with whoever you have to work with to try to get with them continuously to talk about what's happening in staff senate, gauge their feedback, and then go from there. This is a volunteer role. You don't have to go with what leadership technically wants you to go with because you're representing your constituents, right? But you represent them too. So I think it's important that we keep them in the loop. We keep them advocating for the staff experience where you serve, and we make it better. And then connecting across campus. This is a time where in here, after this meeting today, we want you to be able to connect. So we'll have time at the end. Please talk with someone that you may not know a lot about or just say hello. but also connect with the people that might be in your greater constituency. So I'm thinking of the bigger divisions, bigger units, even my academic senators in here in the academic colleges, just connecting with one another, because there's a lot of wonderful things that are happening and what different areas are doing within Staff Senate to keep the word of what's happening going out, and then also to get information in. But we learn from each other. And so really just knowing you got to connect and do that cross collaboration. All right, so before I transition, we're going to introduce our guest speaker for today. It is Jared Evans. He has been at this university serving the institution for the past 12, going into 13 years. He is an alumnus of this institution, and we are so excited for him to come speak and talk about the Alumni Association. So please give a round of applause as we welcome our guest up.
Thank you, Megan. How's everybody doing? It's great to be with you this afternoon, and certainly appreciate the invitation to come speak with you for a little bit. Hope everybody had a good July 4th holiday weekend. I actually took off yesterday, so today is my first day back. So you might have to bear with me a little bit. But no, as Megan alluded, I've been at the university either as a student or employee since 2009. Got to work in athletics for about 6 years, and then lead our Department of Veterans and Military Affairs when we started that in 2018. And it's just been an incredible opportunity because through both experiences, I got to meet so many people, many of whom I recognize and worked with over the years. It's a great university. Really enjoy being able to advocate on behalf of USC and get to work with so many incredible individuals. But in terms of the Alumni Association, so I joined the Alumni Association as an employee in December. So I'm still learning a lot. It was far more in depth than I naively thought it was when I was interviewing for the position. Incredibly glad I made the switch. Just getting to work with all of our alumni as well as our students. We do a lot in terms of student engagement and student programming. It's just been very rewarding. For those of you who don't know, our core focus is really to foster lifelong relationships between students, alumni, and then just the greater community of friends of the University of South Carolina. We have 285,000 living USC Columbia alumni. If you expand out to the system campuses, that number shoots upward closer to 320,000. And so we work incredibly hard to find unique and engaging ways to interact with them where they feel like they're getting value add from the Alumni Association as well as the university at large. We have 52 affiliate groups throughout the country. So we have 48 regional clubs as well as 46 regional clubs, 4 affinity councils, and then 2 interest groups. And so they're really the core of our volunteers. So they're representing, again, the university and the Alumni Association, whether it's in Tampa or Houston or New York, or whether that's with the Veterans Alumni Council, Black Alumni Council, Young Alumni Council, LGBTQ+. They're doing a lot of great advocacy on our behalf and bringing value to alumni, regardless of where they are and regardless of how they identify with the university. We also award more than $230,000 in scholarships every year, which is something we're really proud of and is a top priority for us to continue to grow the number of scholarships and the scholarship amounts that we award each year. And we've just endowed a couple of scholarships and have gift agreements for 4 more through various clubs. So that's certainly a mission of ours. Our team, just for general awareness, it's really broken down into 2 teams. We have the facility team that oversees just day-to-day operations of the Pasadena Alumni Center. And then we have the experience team, which I oversee, which oversees everything from business development to membership to our alumni affiliate groups to events and communication, marketing. So that's more of the outward effort in terms of us engaging with alumni and just the greater university community. So Oh, well, let me back up for a second. Some exciting news, some recent developments. Just 2 months ago, through a very generous gift of a former Board of Governors member, we finally paid off the debt on the Pasadena Alumni Center. So, yeah, that was a big deal. That freed up close to $500,000 in just interest payments we were making to facilitate that debt and the payment. It was scheduled to be paid off in 2026. So for us to be able to get that paid off going into FY25 was a huge deal for us. We're also now hiring 2 positions, not trying to poach anybody, but if you know of anybody that loves the university and is potentially interested in a professional opportunity, you can go to our LinkedIn page and check that out. I made a couple of notes because I don't want to forget anything. No, but if you're a member, you can get a discount. No, so Kevin, he's our chief operating officer. And so he really runs the facility team. No, that would be nice though. And we did just within the last 6 months sign a new contract with Southern Way. So they will continue to be our exclusive catering partner for the next several years. Let's see. We're also working, I just wanted to make sure in terms of updates. Debt paid off. We're working through a process right now for the RFP for a brand new website. So I don't know if y'all have been to our website, but between me and y'all, somewhat underwhelming. So anyway, so our hope is we will have that project complete by January of 2025, which is something we desperately need. I appreciate your affirmation of that. But anyway, so that's something that's in the works that hopefully you'll see within the next 7 months or so. And something we worked really hard on this year, especially over the last 6 months, is just strengthening campus partnerships. We worked really hard with student affairs, and we were at their award ceremony. We were at commencement, the first time the Alumni Association has ever had a presence at commencement. We partnered with HRSM and iHub. So just so you know, if you're a member, you now get a benefit of 20% off on all Apple accessories at the iHub store on campus. It's also just a great opportunity to connect with students through HRSM and work with them and support them. Let's see here. Athletics, Tyson, it's great seeing you. We were able to work out a partnership with them for football single game tickets, where members of the Alumni Association essentially had a pre-sale window of opportunity to purchase single game tickets before they went on sale to the general public. And that went really well. And that's something we're looking to duplicate for men's and women's basketball, baseball, other sports as well. Something that was really exciting this summer is y'all may be aware that back in the day we had senior send-offs to welcome incoming freshmen to campus. So we brought those back. And that was through a partnership. I heard you mention Lena, she's fantastic. But parent and family programs, as well as Catherine in admissions. And we had 3 formal events. We had one, our first was in Charleston, then we went to Charlotte, and then 2 weeks ago we were in Greenville. And y'all, those events were fantastic. And just being able to engage with incoming freshmen, and they're wide-eyed and incredibly nervous and have no idea what's going on. But just to welcome them to the university and their families, and then have alumni connect with the families and the students. Something that we work really hard on is our mentorship program in terms of student support. And so, having an alum we branded it Launching Your Gamecock Journey. So we kind of rebranded the events, but having an alum engage with current or incoming freshmen and ask them, like, what's your major going to be? And then you just hear through conversation, oh, okay, well, I actually graduated from Darla Moore in, 85 or whatever. And this is what I'm doing now. Here's my contact information. If I can ever be any help, support, whatever. But I would just say big picture partnerships for us is certainly a top priority. And so I just share that with you. So if there's any ideas you have in terms of how can your department partner with the Alumni Association, we're more than open to any form of partnership, and certainly all ears. So just wanted to make sure y'all are aware of that. That's something that's really important to us and will continue to be a priority moving forward. I'm going to hit membership real quick. So for those who don't know, we essentially have two levels of membership: annual, which is $55 a year, and then life, which is $900 a year. Thanks to Central Development, we now have a brand new giving platform, which was instrumental in us being able to essentially eliminate a barrier to entry from a cost perspective. So you can now get on a payment plan, which is great, especially if you're interested at all in the life member level. And also with the $55, we're looking at other ways to eliminate additional barriers to entry. Not that $55 is a lot, but again, with the payment plans and just automatic renewal, that's something that actually when I was interviewing for the position, I was like, y'all in Costco are the only two memberships I have where I have to actively go out of my way to renew my membership. So anyway, so now you have automatic renewal. So you can just join and set it and forget it, like Netflix and everything else. In terms of benefits, we have a host of benefits, from access to the library to Strom to 20, in all honesty, y'all, I think 20% off at Adams is probably the best benefit we have. Because you can buy 2 polos and you've already recouped whatever you paid the Alumni Association. We have a travel program where you get discounts on international trips. There's also an international discount, or I'm sorry, a national discount program that you have access to. So lots of member benefits. Already mentioned kind of the partnership we launched with athletics this year, as well as a partnership with iHub. But we're constantly looking at ways to expand that. We had a conversation with Experience Columbia just 2 weeks ago about potentially putting a bundle together where members would get a discount, maybe, at Saluda de Shoals, and the zoo, and maybe Adventure, things like that. So we're trying to every single day find new ways to expand just the amount, not necessarily the amount of benefits, but the value of benefits and just the overall value prop of what we offer to our members. Yes.
Are you going to continue with the the graduate?
The new grad?
And
Yeah, and that, I'm glad you mentioned that. That is the best member campaign we have going for us.
Yeah, I've got all 3 of my kids.
Yeah, so that's definitely something. So just,
Explain what that is.
yeah, so, and you can take advantage of it the year prior to graduation, the year you graduate, or the year after. But just so you know, so like the annual the life member rate is $900. A brick is $350 if you're not a member of the association. The new grad life member campaign, for $500, you become a life member and you get a brick on the horseshoe. And so we have a lot of parents who get that for their children as gifts, as graduation gifts. But that's extremely popular. Also, when women's basketball won the national championship, we had a 38% off life member campaign. We only advertised it for a month, but that did incredibly well. So we're looking to duplicate that or replicate that more moving forward in this upcoming fiscal year. We're also going to do a young grad life as well. I don't know if it'll mirror exactly what the new grad comprises of, but it'll be similar in terms of just a really discounted rate for life, because that's some feedback we got from young alumni. So yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. All right, events. A couple of events I want to hit real quick. We actually, in collaboration with alumni directors across campus, as well as Lene Budden with the First Generation Center, we've got a happy hour this Thursday at Columbia Craft at 5:30. And we're also doing a school supply drive for the First Gen Center. So if anyone's available and wants to come, we'd love to see you. But that's the next event we've got coming up. Then August 22nd, we have Gamecock Sports Preview. That is a members only event, but again, a great opportunity for Gamecock Club members, Alumni Association members to come get excited about the upcoming academic year and hear from a host of coaches. And we've got a bunch of new faces, y'all. I don't know if you've noticed, but Coach Tanner's been busy, and we're really excited about welcoming some new coaches and letting alumni and Gamecock Club members hear directly from them. So really looking forward to that. Tailgates, just so you know, we host 4 home tailgates and 3 away tailgates. Our home tailgates are LSU, Ole Miss, A&M, and Missouri. And then we will be on the road at Kentucky, Oklahoma, and Alabama. Something really cool we're doing at Kentucky. I don't know how many of y'all know this, but Rob Samuels is the owner of Maker's Mark. And so he's a big Gamecock fan and an alum of the university. So Friday, September 6th, we're actually going to have a private event at the distillery at Maker's, where you'll get a drink, you'll get lunch, you'll get a private tour, and then Rob's actually going to talk for about 30 minutes to those in attendance, just about kind of his professional journey, the industry as a whole, competitors, the aging process for bourbon. So anyways, that should be a really cool event. But the home tailgates, if y'all are in town and don't already have another tailgate you're going to, super cheap, get in, great food, don't have to worry about bringing anything. So just wanted to share that with you. Then our gala is Friday, November 1st for homecoming weekend. And we've really tried to completely reimagine this event. As I mentioned, I'm a 2-time alum, and up until last October, I had never been to the gala. I just was like, it's not for me, but we've really taken a step back and ultimately just want it to be a huge party and time to celebrate. And so we've got a different band coming in. We're going to have a band on the patio. There's a lot of different things we're doing with the actual program. And then we're also introducing a party ticket because we recognize other colleges on campus, they've got events that night as well. So the gala runs from 7 to 11, but we'll have a party ticket from 9 to 11 for folks that may have other events that they want to go to, but then they can still come by the Alumni Center towards the end of their night and close it out with drinks and live music and everything else. So more to come on that. We'll be promoting it nonstop, but that's something we're really excited about. And then that might close. Oh, the last thing, New York City Macy's Day or Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. We have a trip through one of our travel partners, and that is going to be a fantastic time. We actually had a Q&A with folks who are already registered for the trip with Dean Harding and several others from the School of Music. And Wednesday night, anyone that's on the trip will get a really cool opportunity to engage with the School of Music staff as well as members of our band in somewhat of a private event. We only have 18 slots left though. So if you're interested, I brought flyers for that just in case if you're interested, as well as just some generic membership information, and then also the mentorship hub. I can't brag on the mentorship hub enough. That's just a really easy way to give back to current students to set them up for success once they graduate. It requires very little time, very little effort. So if you're someone that would like to give back in that capacity, just definitely recommend you check out the Mentorship Hub. And that's also through a partnership with the Career Center. So yeah, we've got a lot of great things happening. Really excited about where we're going as an association. We just welcomed our new president of our board of governors, 2 new board members, and a couple of new officers. But we've got a lot of great leadership. Tiffany Foxworth, who I'm sure many of you know, is our CEO, and she's fantastic. And yeah, if you know of anybody that's potentially looking for a job, send them my information. But no, again, just really appreciate the invitation to be with y'all today, and appreciate everything y'all do. And if anyone has any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about your scholarship.
Yeah, so we have the Legacy Scholarship. So again, that's also member benefit, but that's for children of parents or grandparents who are alum of the university. So our final number for this upcoming academic year was we awarded 63 Legacy Scholarships. We have the Richard T. Greener Scholarship, and we're so close to getting a second scholarship for them. They've done an incredible job fundraising for that one. We just, within the last couple of months, got our Inclusion Scholarship endowed, which is an incredible. I mean, to get a scholarship endowed in a year is really impressive. And so our LGBTQ plus Affinity Council did a phenomenal job fundraising for that. And then we have a bunch of other like club-based scholarships from various regions across the country. You're welcome.
Yeah. So as Megan said, collaboration is one of the key themes, and the Alumni Association may collaborate with more people across campus, maybe any other organization we have. What's been the key for y'all from a staff standpoint of connecting with all these different folks that you deal with? Where have y'all found success, and where have you maybe overcome some challenges or obstacles since you started this role?
I really think it's been a full team approach. Well, I mean, that is true. I think for me, coming into the role last December, I met with several alumni directors across campus just to kind of get their perception of the Alumni Association and maybe what has worked in the past and just areas for improvement. And I think through just some natural transition in staff and personnel, there wasn't a good point of continuity for the campus. And so like specifically with the alumni directors, I'm essentially the point of contact for them and my team. I send them, the first of every month, I send them an email with everything we've got going on. And it's really just for awareness. And then I think through that over the last 6 months, that's where a lot of the collaboration has come. In terms of some of the other partnerships, I think it's, for us, our approach has been, how can we find win-wins? I mean, how can we work together in a way where you're, whoever it is, admissions, parent-family programs, athletics, like where are you going to get, bang for your buck and a win and a value add to your mission, and then simultaneously help us on what we're trying to do with alumni or students or whoever it may be. So I think the big thing is like our goal is to work with everyone, collaborate with everyone. We recognize that every department and unit, they've got their own mission. But if we can in any way provide support, then ultimately that's what we're here to do. So that's been my approach, at least since December. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Give a round of applause. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And as for every meeting, if you all do have any kind of questions after the fact, or maybe from constituents that are tuning in or that you share afterwards, please connect them with Jared, as well as you can pass it to exec committee, and we are happy to also connect with Jared to keep it going. So thank you again, and we'll leave the information up here so that way you guys can pick it up afterwards if you want to keep going with anything. All right. So now we're going to hear from our committee co-chairs. And so this will be the time, again, where the co-chairs will come up and we'll share what's happening in the committee. So as of what has been prompted for today, should be just sharing what your committee kind of vision or maybe main goals are if you've already established that. And if not, also when your first meetings are going to happen. And please remember, as you note this down, you all can participate in more than the committee that you are assigned with. So if there's something that you're passionate about or want to be a part of, or you have constituents that serve in your areas that want to also be a part of or tune in to be a support to these committees, please connect them with the chairs. So we're going to start with membership. Come on up.
One reason I would never want to share something is because I am not comfortable talking to a crowd. So what I guess all we basically need to say is that you're meeting the third Tuesday at 3 p.m. Our first meeting will be July 16th, next Tuesday. Go ahead.
And the committee vision for 24-25, we aim to review and assess the current membership structure and procedures. The committee aims to ensure adequate representation of all staff and to successfully facilitate officer and general body elections.
We're hoping to start also making sure that everybody is aware of who they represent. So we're going to kind of go through and look at all the org charts for the university and make sure that we as senators know who we represent and the people who we're representing know us. So that's it. Okay.
Thank you. All right, communications.
Hello everyone, we are the communications committee co-chairs. I'm Michaela Taylor, one of the co-chairs.
I'm Carey.
We are excited to begin this year together. One big thing for all of you to check for us is your name and photos. If you approve one, have them added to the Staff Senate website, so that is sf.edu/Staff Senate. Give that a look over, make sure your email, your name, your phone number, if you want it up there, is correct. There's a lot of information to update, and I accidentally named Alexis Warren from last year, so. Easy fixes, but if you see something, send that over to me and Lori, and we'll get that update on the website. If you have a headshot from a previous or your regular job you want to use on the website, with that kind of classic background, you can also send that to us too, and we'll get that updated to the website. One of our big goals this year is one of the first things we're going to do actually is work on the website and just work on some simplification and updating things and making sure that it's clean and crisp and easy to access information for anyone who's going, not just us. A second thing we're continuing to do is kind of survey all staff members across campus to figure out how you get your information and ways that we can spread updates from Staff Senate and other updates across campus. So we've been doing our monthly recap emails of Staff Senate that have been received well. You did not get one from June, that's on me, but you'll be getting one in July, a fresh, this is what Staff Senate is about, but especially for our new folks, you can share that out with your units and make sure that they're getting it. The communications committee is meeting on the third Tuesday of every month on Teams at 9:30. So if you'd like to join, please feel free to do so. And then if you just have any other thoughts, comments, concerns about communications or how we can help you communicate what's going on in Staff Senate, let us know. I think those were all the communications things. Do you have any And then one side note I wanted to say from orientation, staff Senate orientation, from the health and wellness lady who spoke to us about getting and how anyone can schedule those the blood tests and everything. I want to let you know I had multiple people from my office and communications schedule that, get their blood work done, and said it was easy peasy. Lots of morning appointments. You should be fasting for them, at least wait to drink your coffee until after the 8:30 appointment. But they said it was so easy. They had their results by the next morning and were able to print out that PDF and take it into the doctor. So definitely recommend that. I need to schedule mine. I hate needles, but I can do it. Take myself out to ice cream after probably, but I wanted to say that was a super easy process, and they are really happy that we were able to share that update with them from South Bend. So,
Thank you. All right, policy and well-being.
Happening, everybody. Like I was saying, we're staff policy and well-being. Jason.
I'm taking recess, correct?
Just to kind of go over briefly what we're about, some of our core things are compensation, benefits, work-life balance, and kind of the overall well-being of staff employees. Some of the goals that we wanted to share today, I'll kind of kick it off, and then Cami can jump in as well, is probably our biggest push would be for dependent tuition remission, AKA if you got a child or a spouse. We've already reached out to like the financial aid office, and we're going to be soon setting up so kudos to Jessica, we're going to be setting up a meeting with them. Cami has some details related to maybe at a state level where we may have to make a push. We are meeting for the first time July 16th at 3. So we're a group of 8. We're looking forward to it. Talk a little bit more about goals.
Yeah, sure. In addition to the ones Jason mentioned, we're also going to be continuing our work on mental health spaces on campus, what that looks like, and making sure that our constituents are aware of them. Looking at accessibility issues on campus, looking at additional duties as assigned, you know, that whole air quote, and what, I have a whole document. And what, you know, HR policies are with that and what their recommendations are. And we're also going to be continuing our relationship with the Faculty Senate. They have 2 new chairs, co-chairs, Amy or Ami Friedman and Susie Hardy. We're meeting with them next week. Those are our main goals. Of course, this is there's a lot of ideas and goals. So if anyone ever wants to come to our meeting, please feel welcome to. If everyone's meeting on Tuesdays. One's meeting on July 16th. It's my birthday, so y'all wish me happy birthday. Everyone's in your meetings separately. Not yet. What I'll say is, I'm working with people who are in PAC leave to look at how they did the family, the employment leave, because they did have to make some state changes. So I've met with several members of that to see what that process may look like if we were to need to address any South Dakota code laws regarding tuition and permission.
That's kind of in regards to the way that they currently fund the scholarships that aren't crazily well advertised on our website, and some of the reasons behind that, and it could be related to state law that we may have to push for some changes. So I was joking with Jessica earlier, we may be those people that like, hey, remember them that kind of started, you know, or continued to push. I don't know how long of a process it's going to be.
We've done a lot of work so far, so please join us and shout out to our team.
National development.
Hey y'all. I'm Khristina DeLorenzo. We're the co-chairs for the Professional Development Committee. We have not met yet. Our first meeting date is going to be next week, Thursday, July 17th. 16th? At 2 o'clock. At 2 o'clock. And I'm not sure if that's going to be our permanent meeting time or not, but we're going to kind of discuss it while we meet. But we had really good conversations when we met during the retreat. I think one of the first things we want to focus on is getting a survey out to y'all to see what is it you want professional development wise, who you want to come speak, what you're interested in. So, yeah, that's all I got. Anything?
Good job. All right, community projects.
I'm Alexis Watt, and I'm sure both trial by fire, co-chairing, and your senators, so all at once. So I'll just, I guess, update y'all on some goals that we have for the upcoming academic. Firstly, gaining more participation across the Columbia campus with volunteer efforts and not just, among staff senators. Centralizing resources to get staff more involved, like where opportunities exist and when, and working with our executive leadership to make that happen. Collaborating with other committees to utilize staff-centered resources to innovate and make volunteerism, more recognized across the campus and visible. So those are our goals, and our meetings are, it seems like everybody's meeting on Tuesdays at 3. So we're also meeting, our first meeting will be, well, we met on the 9th, so we met last week. So our next meeting will be on the 16th at 3.
Let's have you guys join us, and we already have, we are kind of keeping the ball rolling thanks to our past co-chairs of the committee, Amanda, Toni, and Margie. We have set up with a donation drive for the Gamecock Community Shop. And most of you probably know that it's a free resource for students, faculty, and staff who are facing any kind of basic needs and security. So we are asking all of our staff members to take a flyer with us. The Gamecock Community Shop recommends getting an old laundry basket if you guys work in an office with a lot of people, and asking if any of the staff there is willing to fill up a grocery bag with some items to donate to the Gamecock Community Shop. And we'll actually have donation bins downstairs before the next meeting on August 13th for you guys to bring all of your donations. And we're also going to really work on keeping track of the kinds of volunteer projects and things that we work on so that we can have full reports on the impact that staff's going to make. We want to really build on this culture of planning. That's also the ability. Thank you.
All right, bylaws.
Hi, everyone. I am Marissa, co-chair of the bylaws committee. Hi, Amanda. It's like Amanda, but just forgetting the first name because it's not there. I'm from Louisiana, and my last name's Fontenot. And my last name's Tuck. So, well, we are excited to be your co-chairs for the bylaws committee. We will be meeting Thursdays the week, Thursdays the week of South Century. So our first one will be this upcoming Thursday at 11 a.m. Anyone is welcome to join. I would swap on my committee. And then some goals for this upcoming year. We really just want to continue on a lot of the work that we have from previous staff center. We're just rolling a lot of that into this. So working with the membership committee to kind of redefine some of the membership things, staff center allocation, and then really trying to clear up some of the wording talking about succession planning between the president and vice president, what that transition looks like, and just making sure it's all clear for everyone. What time again? Thursdays at 11 a.m. So the Thursday after staff center. So first one's going to be 11 at 11. The 11th of July at 11.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Senator Carl with the South Senate Awards Committee. I'm kind of having withdrawals from community projects. I'm not not up here asking you to give cool tabs or school projects, but I feel great about the new career. They were so kind to me meet and see what we were doing and kind of keep the ball rolling. But I'm super excited about this group, and we actually have our first meeting next Tuesday, July 16th at 10 a.m. on Teams. If anyone wants to join us, and we're going to confirm then that that's the best time for everybody to meet rest of the year. So tentatively, we will be the third Tuesday at 10 a.m. Some of our goals are just confirming a new location for Staff Appreciation Day. We had a great discussion at the retreat, even though it was not a long discussion, about maybe moving it to a new area, maybe every year moving it to a different area of campus, just kind of keep things fun. So we reached out to some fillers to see what might be some of our options. Also reviewing like the awards criteria. We had even a lot of great feedback just at the retreat about maybe not focusing so much on a monetary award for those few that win, but maybe have more winners and have optional awards where they pick between 5 things. It might be, 2 tickets to a baseball game or whatever, to give people an option. So anyway, I see a lot of heads shaking. So we got a lot of things to talk about, and we will start talking next week on Tuesday at 10 a.m. if anyone wants to join. The fundraising and development. I know. All right, I'm Michelle Knight, and I will be chairing the very young fundraising and scholarship, the fundraising and development committee. Apparently,
It is a scholarship, yeah. You're good.
It's been renamed.
That's funny.
So we'll be meeting on the third Tuesday at 10 a.m. As of right now, we have actually a shrinking committee, but hopefully we'll get some new blood. I don't know if y'all have ever seen those kids magazines, highlight kids magazines, Seek and Find. Well, we are seeking and trying to find some ways to raise money for the staff scholarship committee. So if you have ideas, feel free to shoot them our way. And our goals are hopefully finding some funds or some fundraising ideas, and then hopefully awarding a staff scholarship. It's a pretty lofty goal, but hopefully awarding a staff scholarship at awards day along with the other awards that are presented that day at Staff Appreciation Day. There we go.
Good. Awesome. All right, so thank you all and all of our committees and then co-chairs. I think with all, it looks like the third Tuesday is a busy day for Staff Senate, but for your work so far. And now we're going to transition just to the business portion of our meeting. And so I'm going to invite our parliamentarian up as we are going to review the budget. I got it.
There you go, there's the budget.
So, sorry.
Nelson read this in our June meeting. I know nothing about budgets. Sorry, this is not real math to me. So what we need to do is review the budget, and then we need to vote on the budget. So is there a motion to, are you going to take this?
You got it. Is there a motion to approve the budget?
I should move.
Yeah.
Okay. We got Senator Boland. And then, all right, we're going to move to, or he was a second. Yep. And then we're going to move to discussion. Do you all have any discussion items on the budget? Yes.
Is that been renegotiated and confirmed with the faculty? Because it said that last month.
No, it has not, as of right now, been renegotiated with Faculty Senate, because Faculty Senate does take half, because our administrative coordinator, Jessica, works with Faculty Senate and Staff Senate, so it's kind of a half and half of our support for our administration.
That is something we hope to
And the awards monies that we get through the university is not a part of this. So please know that when you're looking at this, the awards and recognition day that we have for Staff Senate will continue, but it does not come from our Staff Senate fund.
We have a comment from our treasurer who is online.
Yes.
Who is not able to be here, but to answer that question. Treasurer Tunisi says the budget had to be submitted to the budget office before that could be approved. She said she will renegotiate and bring that forward as she's able.
All right. Seeing no more discussion, can I have a move to vote?
Move.
All right, Senator Bellon, a second. Awesome. And let me go to Carey, Senator Lori Carey. Sorry, I gotta say last names here.
Yeah. I know.
All right, so all those in favor of accepting the proposed fiscal year 25 budget, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Wonderful. And, all right, and so the last portion of our meetings will always be time for you to share announcement, good news, anything that you would like to just share with the general body. Also, if there's bigger concerns happening that we can then keep moving along as a unit. So would anyone like to share any announcements, good news? Yes, Senator Reid.
So this has been discussed in previous meetings of senators. So if you remember, I offered with another senator, who I don't know, if you please tell me, help with certain constituents who may have the family caregiver. And so something that has come out of that discussion when I raised my hand to help with that is that senator talks to their constituents and connecting them with me. And so in that time, while this isn't a direct staff Senate initiative, it is something I'm doing because of this connection. Me, Ashley Bird-White, and what's familiar with her, have met with Robin Peace, our bus person, and Amanda Castle. So we are looking at creating a caregiving group or a caregiving network for USC staff, which existed before and has gone away. So if anyone's interested in either joining it, when it comes to fruition, or helping with the creation of it, please let me know. We're looking at structure and where exactly it will be housed. But just wanted to share that. And please feel free to share that with your constituents as well. Again, this is in fairly early stages, but it's something that we do have support from Amanda Castle to move forward with under her probably position.
Any other announcement or good news? Yes, I got
So,
two.
I sent out a call through Microsoft Teams to connect with any units that have staff councils. I've already met with 4 units, but if your area has an active staff council, I would love to connect with you. I've met with education, HRSN, school of medicine, and PSC. Yeah.
And is that because you want to start building a staff council of your own?
So revamp.
Okay.
And it's been I think it's just very productive. That I've met with. We've been all shared like best practices. My college and what they've done in their
Wonderful. All right, other thing.
I feel compelled to announce that, in case you weren't aware, that the has been renamed.
Wow.
College of Engineering and Computing has been renamed.
Yes.
Only. Thanks to the generous donation of alumni, Alex Simone, that brother is also a graduate's father. Family goes way back, ties to the college, and so very generous donation. Just a few months ago. It has been energized our division, but we're very proud of it. Centers everywhere, and also signatures have changed. So this is a great move at the college. Thanks. So great development for the college and the university.
Yes, that's wonderful news. Congratulations. Any other announcements? Good news for the order, yeah.
Some of y'all probably have already heard from me, but just in case you haven't, the University of South Carolina has purchased Zoom for the university system, the entire university system. So every faculty member, staff member, and student, we in essence have one big license with roughly about 70,000 members. everybody should be, folks should already be migrated over, and you can just log in and utilize that. I'm working with the folks that are take care of the email to, and also get all documentation so that you can easily add that to your Outlook calendar, just like you can do a Teams meeting, just a little toggle switch, or just add it as an additional thing. This is primarily for the folks that are utilizing Blackboard. If you're familiar with Blackboard, there was a product called Collaborate that was bought and sold by somebody else, or sold by Blackboard and bought by somebody else, and they then in turn changed it. Long story short, and also to save the university a lot of money, there was a lot of individual and group licenses throughout the university system. By getting one enterprise license, it actually saved the university about 20% over the overall cost. So that's great. So there's no longer Collaborate. There's now Zoom, which integrates seamlessly with Blackboard, but it could also be used independently. You can just use it as regular, and it's really up to you. Several offices already utilize Zoom and have been utilizing Zoom. Most of y'all, if you don't use Zoom, some of your IT folks that are in your own areas or within your academic units, we've already been working with them to move everybody over if need be. It's just an extra thing if you would like. If you need more information, just go to our good old website, sc.edu/IT-help, just /IT-help, and it'll pop up, and just type in Zoom in the search bar, and there's tons of articles there and whatnot to help you get started with Blackboard, without Blackboard. We even have an enterprise video storage system called Fontenot that we can utilize. It gives us unlimited storage, which is wonderful for right now. So anyway, check it out. If you have any other questions, either email me or just go to IT-help, sc.edu/IT-help, and just search for Zoom, and you'll see all kinds of articles. Great, thank you.
Oh, do you have a question?
Do you know when DOIT is going to have the Microsoft Teams Premium?
That I don't know, because I've heard that there is a, whatchamacallit, you may have read articles that Teams is, well, it's because of the, back up. Microsoft's being sued. Just like if you remember a long time ago, they used to include Internet Explorer with their operating system automatically, and they got sued because it was already added to it, and there were people like back then, Netscape, you guys remember Netscape, right, said, hey, that's unfair practices. The same thing's happening with Teams. Primarily since the pandemic, Teams has really exploded because Microsoft bought Skype, and stripped it down, and that's why you see a lot of Teams things going on, and also because of the pandemic, it really exploded, just like Zoom exploded. So there's currently a lawsuit, and there's a possibility that the Teams aspect may be separated out from the overall Microsoft Office 365 product. So right now we have a Microsoft Office 365 license for the entire university, so you get all your words and Excel and blah, 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 blah. However, what everybody has access to is great. There's a possibility the Teams aspect might be separate. That is another sort of road mapping we're also looking at, because Zoom, good old rebranding, is now calling themselves Zoom Workplace, right? So it's called Zoom Workplace. And so all it is just Zoom meetings and whatever, but they're doing the exact same thing. So they're trying to compete, and so we're sort of hedging our bets by having to. So I don't know about Teams Premium if the university is going to go that way.
Well, it was announced weeks ago with some AI users that premium would be an option.
Yeah.
And it was added to like the knowledge base.
Right. AI, that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. Please talk with internally about AI. Zoom comes with AI, so does Microsoft, obviously, so does every other application out there. You got a big kerfuffle with everybody seeing Reid.ai pop up everywhere, with people just adding them. That's been blocked. Also, there are security, legal, financial aspects of all of this. Case in point, a very simple case in point is that the Reid AI, or excuse me, any type of AI does a summation of a meeting and tells a student, hey, you're only supposed to have 3 credit hours, but they actually meant 5, or it was misinterpreted or whatever, and then they have a transcript. There's something legal right there. And of course, you can't get all that security stuff. So for right now, I do know that our CIO, our new CIO, Bryce Bible, and has been talking with faculty senate and everybody else around campus about AI. Someone like gung ho, turn it on, crank it up. We want to use it for everything because it does do a lot of very good summations for meetings and stuff like that. But as you all found out, sometimes it can also spit out a bunch of crap too, or it doesn't work the way you want it, or it's not helpful. And then of course everybody gets a little quirky when you see this Autobot sort of show up in the meeting and start recording everything on purpose. And also from a security standpoint, like Reid AI, it's storing that information in their cloud, for example, not the University of South Carolina's portion of the cloud, say from Microsoft or Zoom, et cetera. So for right now, it's turned off. That's supposed to be hopefully coming down the pike, but I'm pretty sure it's going to go through all the financial and legal channels first, which probably will all be retired by then. But that's what's going on with AI. If you have any questions or concerns, you can always just contact myself or anyone at DOIT. But the better bet is to contact your IT representative or your IT whoever's in your unit, and also whoever's in charge of your unit. Your dean, your vice president, et cetera, and let them know how you feel about it. Because some people like great, turn it on. Other people like no way in hell. And so it's really good. Yes.
Going back to is that like the base? Like, are we limited with our ability? Like, can we do webinars through that? Can we have 500 people on it? I'm just thinking about personally what we use it for.
Right.
And so, yeah. I just want to make sure that I got the right info.
For every member, you can have up to 300. For every member, like I said, there's one license with about 70,000 members. Every member, in other words, every individual, it's associated with your email. They can have up to 300 folks in a meeting. The meeting time is unlimited. And of course, you can also store that recording if you want to. We have some documentation on our website about if you record a lot, we'd like you to start storing it in Fontenot. Another thing that's sort of happening at the exact same time is a lot of retention policies that are coming about, hopefully flowing through faculty senate, not only retaining content like video, but also any type of course material and whatnot, and making that official. As far as webinars and other types, we are limited. We don't have enough for everybody. However, we do have enough for every single faculty member, which technically is, the number is right around 18,000. And the webinar has up to 500 people, and all it is really sort of a different delivery method. We also have the ability for large meetings, which are up to 500 people. The difference between a meeting and a webinar, meetings is everybody's talking back and forth, and you can see 75 different windows, like the prices, minute prices, right? The Hollywood Squares times 1,000. Webinar is a one-to-many. One person or one individual or a couple individuals out to everybody, and there's not that much of that video interaction. If you need that, the easiest thing to do is just email me. I'm the gatekeeper right now. Our team is the one that's supporting that. Whatever. We are trying to renegotiate our contract with them this coming fall because they're actually updating their product because it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So what we had was signed about this time last year. It didn't go into place because of local funding and legal crap until December of 23. But now we're going to try and renegotiate it because there's actually their EU/enterprise license is changed and actually will allow us to have a lot more webinars and other features. Zoom is a very powerful platform and has tons of features. You can do 17 things under it. You can do very simple stuff, but also it's really a great platform. So is Teams, but Teams has been around forever and it's a little funky and whatnot. But it depends on what you want to do and how it integrates with Microsoft and all that. All right, got any questions? Just email me or /IT help. Thanks.
Are there any other updates, announcements? So this is a perfect example of how we can use the work that you're doing in your greater units and your constituency to share what's happening and also then get input from each other or take note and say, hey, we just learned in staff senate that this was happening. Do we want to? How do we feel about this? Talk with your leadership. This is where all this comes into play. As a few reminders, That things that you can advocate right off the bat for with leadership, if you meet with them and you start soon, is asking about, if you haven't already done that, working with your HR department in your different units to understand the phase 3 of what is or is not happening in your different units, because it is up to each individual unit of the university, division, department to figure out, are people getting to that mid where that's where the phase 3 should have been, or are they not? And is it because of budget constraints? What's the why? And so really figuring that out so you can share, especially if that's a big thing with your constituency. That should be an ongoing conversation that's still out there, especially if you have not heard anything from your leadership about it. I really encourage you all to use your platform as senators to ask that. And then as just a reminder, and I know that Senator Taylor shared that there will be a meeting recap after this that the communications committee will send out to you all. So please know we're taking our minutes with Secretary Hodge, and we are then going to, with communications committee, going to be able to send out a generic thing that with, logo at the top. It's beautiful, that you can tweak it yourself if there's something you want to highlight, if there's something that you want to add to, but you can forward it to your constituents. And if you don't have an email listserv, talk with your IT folks, talk with leadership if there is one that you all can get access to. But that's how you can then forward this out to all of your constituents so that they are in the loop and understand and know what is happening at the larger level. Outside of that, please check your website as well, or the website for your information to make sure it's correct in your photo. But with that, with all the business and announcements concluded, is there a motion to adjourn? Senator Epps, thank you. Is there a second? Awesome, Senator McCormick. And all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Staff Senate ends and adjournment until August 13th. Thank you.